Nina, tomorrow my family is going to be coming over to the house.
What? They're coming tomorrow?
That's right, and my lovely aunt will be coming out to the house as well, so make sure you clean every nook and cranny of the house.
What time do you think they'll be getting here?
I believe 11:30 or so.
Are they going to be stopping by for lunch and then heading home?
Well, of course they will.
What am I going to do? What do you think I should have made up for all of them?
Don't ask me something like that. You should be able to think up something like that by yourself. Just make sure that whatever it is you cook, it isn't something crazy or weird.
But I'm not sure what they all like to eat or even can eat. How about this? How about I make hamburgers for lunch?
Hey, don't you start getting lazy with the lunches now, too. I want you to put some effort into whatever you cook and make it fancy. If they all begin to think that I got a wife who doesn't even know how to properly cook, then I'll be the one who's embarrassed.
But the supermarkets aren't really open in this area anymore. And as for what we have in the fridge currently, none of it can really be used to make something to your liking for tomorrow.
Then you can go out tomorrow morning and then get home as quick as possible to start cooking.
But most of the supermarkets around here don't open until around 9. Going out to pick up everything I would need and then coming right back home to start cooking would mean I'd only get close to an hour and a half to cook.
Then you need to figure out some way to make all of that work so that you have lunch ready by 11:30. And don't forget about cleaning up the house for us. My aunt is a clean freak and will not shut up about the house if it's not spotless when she gets here. And don't forget about cleaning the front yard and backyard up. She's the kind of person where if she sees even a single weed growing, she'll go wild.
You need me to clean up the yard as well before then? Today and tomorrow is only rain, so having to go out and do all of that for you by then will be tough for me. And if I already have to go out shopping tomorrow morning, then I don't think I'll have enough time to get that taken care of as well.
Then you'd better get to it right now. Rain has nothing to do with you getting your job done, so make sure you get it done and that you get it done right.
Luke, it's already past 9 now and I can't see out there. Do you expect me to carry a flashlight around all night trying to pick weeds one-handed? Had you just told me about this a little bit sooner, then I could have actually done some work out there. I'm sorry, but at this point of the night, I just can't.
There was no other option for me since I only just got this message from my aunt a little bit ago. They weren't able to come around during the holidays last year, so they're wanting to come now. They'll all be coming out here, leaving behind whatever else they were doing to say hi to us, which is why I want everything to be perfect for when they all get here.
I understand what you're wanting, but with all these things I have to get done starting right now, it's too much. I still have to get your dinner cleaned up and do the laundry for you. If I have to also clean up the entire house and go out and weed, then it's going to be the break of dawn by the time I'm finished with all of that.
As long as you get everything done before the family arrives, that's all that matters. Forget about sleep and get things ready.
So you're asking me to stay up all night now?
Well, if you go to sleep, you won't be able to do everything in time, right? So you'd better get to work right now if you want to have any downtime at all. And if tomorrow there's even a single speck of dust on the ground, a single weed out in the garden beds, or something off about the food you cook up, you can forget about having any lunch.
Aren't you taking things way too far by saying that?
Are you gonna go against what I've asked? For someone who can't even survive without me around, don't you even dare! You haven't forgotten yet, have you? I'm the one that made you, a woman who left her job a year ago now because she can't work, my wife.
You're the one not remembering that correctly, though. I had to leave that job because I was being bullied by my boss at the time.
Well, getting along with your boss so that you don't get bullied is part of being a responsible adult. But for someone like you who can't even communicate with others properly, it makes sense why you can't even work out there. You even said it yourself that you were so relieved to be made my wife, right? You felt better no longer having to work for a company, correct?
The last place I had to work made me depressed. So, of course, getting out of there made me feel relieved and everything.
Jumping to the end here, you're not meant to work in the real world like other women can. In other words, the only way you can survive is by having me as your husband, right? Which means you understand a little better now what you're supposed to be doing, right? If you don't want to be kicked out of this house and my family, then you need to make sure to get your job done the correct way here. Hey, Nina, there's a silver flash drive on my desk upstairs, right? I was gonna put it in my bag this morning, but forgot about it because I was in such a rush. I want you to go and grab it and bring it to my office right now.
What? You need it right now?
I do. It's gonna be very important for my tasks later this afternoon.
I'm sorry. Getting that out to you right now isn't going to happen.
Why can't you do as I've said?
Because I'm in the hospital right now, Luke.
Huh? Why are you in a place like that?
Remember how last night that really hot oil from the pan I was cooking in got all over me? Well, it burned me worse than I thought, and this morning I woke up with some serious blistering on me. So the only choice I had was to come here and have the burns looked at.
Oh, you're talking about that? You really are such a clumsy idiot, aren't you?
The reason that happened was because you threw that plastic bottle at me, though. The reason I ended up burnt is because you did something so stupid while I was cooking with oil.
Well, it's your fault for not catching it properly, right? So don't you dare start blaming me for that.
Recently, Luke, I've noticed that you've been chucking a lot of random things at me. Something like that is really dangerous, so I'd like you to cut it out. This wasn't even the first time I got hurt because of it either.
You're only getting hurt because your reflexes are so poor, right? And what makes you think you can even go to the hospital when all you are is a housewife? You're wasting away our medical insurance, aren't you?
So, you're going to tell me that I can't go to the hospital at all now because I'm a housewife?
Well, it's not like you're the one making any money, right? Don't you find that you're living a little bit too luxurious going to the hospital over a small little burn from some cooking oil?
So, I'm not even allowed to bring myself into the hospital to get help anymore? What the heck do you see me as, Luke? Am I some kind of slave to you now?
Nothing I've been doing to you should lead you to thinking that you're a slave. Now you're just making me look like the bad person here.
But look, you're telling me that I'm not allowed to go to the hospital after I've been seriously hurt. It's like you're not letting me have a basic human right.
I guess all of this talk doesn't seem to be working for you, huh? I'm just telling you that you can't be going to the hospital over a small injury like that burn you got. Now stop trying to change the conversation, making yourself look like the victim here. This is the reason why I hate having to talk to and deal with idiots.
I'm here because this isn't some small little burn like you continue to say it is.
You said that just a blister had formed on it, right? All you had to do was run a needle through it and let out the fluid and then get back to your daily life, letting it heal on its own.
Well, everywhere I looked online said that you're not supposed to break open the blister.
Stop taking everything the internet has to say on it as the truth. You really are the most stupid idiot I know. I'd like it if you used that head of yours to think on your own for once. That's the reason why you're so useless and couldn't do your job before.
Me not having a job has nothing to do with this, Luke.
No, it really does have something to do with this. Anyhow, you don't need to be at that hospital anymore, so you leave that waiting room right now and go get my flash drive to bring to my office. There are things on that flash drive that I'll need for my meetings this afternoon. Hey, are you even reading these texts anymore? Reply to me right now, acknowledging that you've read all of this.
I am reading everything. I will have the flash drive to you by 4 p.m., so just hang tight and wait for me. I am next in line to be called back to be seen by the doctor.
You're really dragging this all out now. I guess I have no choice. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want that flash drive in my office by 3 p.m., all right? If you're late by even a minute, I'm not gonna go easy on you. Now you hurry the hell up, you useless bitch! Hey, I'm gonna be meeting with a customer tomorrow, so make sure to shine my shoes by then. And take my suit to the dry cleaners and have it ready for me by the end of today. That means you take it there right now so that you don't forget. Recently, you have been of no use to me, seriously.
I already handed in your suit to the dry cleaners, along with those divorce papers to the courthouse.
Huh? Divorce papers?
Luke, that jacket you threw at me earlier today had filled out divorce papers shoved into its left pocket, right? I took a look through all of it and you even had it all signed. I made sure the lady at the front desk could have and process them.
What? You have it all wrong. You go back there right now and get those papers back from her.
She already took and processed them, so it's too late now. Thank you so much for filling out everything properly so that she didn't have anything to hand back to me. And now you and I are just strangers to one another.
What kind of selfish crap have you done? Are you screwing around right now?
What? I found the letter that you had written to me as well in your suit jacket's pocket. What was written inside of it shocked me at first, saying that you could no longer handle living with me and wanted me gone with a divorce. But then I remembered what you said about having to do as you say, and so I didn't go against you and made sure to hand the divorce papers in. You always wanted me to listen to you, right?
I did, but this time it was different. I never wanted to actually hand you those divorce papers and that letter yet.
So, you had no intentions of handing them to me, but you got them all ready just in case? I don't see what you think is so wrong with me handing them in for you today. At this point, it's too late to think about that now, because I already handed them in. And we are a divorced couple. I've already gotten most of my things together now, and will be leaving your house for good.
Huh? Where the hell do you think you'll be going after?
What does that matter to you?
It matters a lot to me. I'm not going to allow you to leave my house.
Who do you even think you are, bossing me around like that still? To me, you are nothing more than a stranger now. That doesn't have any rights regarding me anymore.
Even now, I'm still your husband, and for starters, how do you even plan to survive without me around you anymore? As someone who's always had to rely on me for everything.
I was not relying on you for everything, so I'll be perfectly fine on my own. I don't need you keeping me in your house anymore, so just leave me alone. I will find my own job again, and I will be able to make my own income again like things were before I married you.
Are you kidding me? There's not a job in this world someone as useless as you could do. Someone who's nothing more to this world than a mindless cockroach.
I'm not just some mindless pest. Actually, I had already talked with some family, and they were able to set me up with a job and everything. One of their friends happens to be a farmer, and they are currently in need of hands. I'll be able to stay out on their farm for a while, and they will give me food and everything as well while I work. So, my plan is to go there and try my best to see where I can get.
Stop saying such stupid things. You really think you'll be able to do something like farming? Especially when you don't even have any meat on those bones of yours.
Stop judging my ability to work on a farm only based off my physique. You may not see it, but I can do a whole lot more than even you probably can. You're just wanting me to think that I can't do anything on my own in order to keep me by your side, right? That way you won't ever have to do anything for yourself, and you can have me slaving away at home for the rest of your life.
You can't really be serious right now, right? Are you sure you didn't bang your head on anything this morning?
Sure, when I saw those divorce papers and the letter in your jacket's pocket earlier, it was like getting punched in the head after the amount of shock that I had felt. But that only lasted an instant, because after that, my eyes were completely opened. I finally saw that this was my one and only chance. God gave me the chance that I had been needing to finally run away from this horrible life I'd been living with you.
You don't have to go out into the world and live on your own again, so you come back to me and stay by my side where you've always been.
Who the hell do you think would want to go back to the life of being your slave? Sure, for a second there, I was leaning back and forth on whether to really divorce you or not, since it has been your income keeping me alive. But when I thought about all of the time I'd wasted being with someone who doesn't even care about my health and safety, I knew what the right choice was. It was not being beside you.
Have you already gone and left the house yet? If you have, you get your ass back here right now! I was able to get some marriage paperwork together for us to bring into the courthouse. I've already signed everything, and as long as you place your signatures on here, then we can go back to the way things were.
I'm not going back to the way things were, though.
But we can! As long as you come and sign these papers, we can! So you come back here right now!
I'm not going back to sign those papers, and I'm not going back to you. I no longer want to go back to that life I had with you before. I'd rather have the life I'm going to have now, even if it isn't as secure as the one I had under you. I want to become free again, and have the life that I had before I ever met you.
Why do you keep going on about such nonsense right now?
If you really want to take me back as your wife and make me into the slave you were using me as before, then you'd better explain some things to me first, right? What the hell was your reason for having that filled out paperwork and a letter written to me wanting a divorce? If you never wanted for the two of us to end up divorced, then why would you go through the effort of making up those two things?
I didn't write those things because I wanted to, but because I had to!
Now you're making even less sense, Luke.
If I tell you what all happened there, are you gonna come back to me?
We'll just have to wait and see about that. But if you at least tell me what all of that was about, then I'll give going back to you some thought. So, Luke, who was it that forced you to write that letter to me and fill out all of those divorce papers?
How can I say this? My girlfriend...
Excuse me?
We were only really together to have some fun, so you can't really call her a girlfriend. It's just, I don't really know how to explain all of this, so I called her my girlfriend just then.
So, you're confessing to having had an affair while you were with me?
I suppose that's how things would seem.
I'm starting to get it now. And that's your reason for wanting to divorce me, right?
Not right at all. I was just with her in order to have a little bit of fun, but that woman got the wrong idea from it. She started to go on and on about when I would be leaving my wife. She told me that if I didn't leave you soon and left her behind, she'd go to my office and tell everyone there about it. So in order to get her to shut up for a while, I made up a fake divorce letter and filled out some paperwork. That's all.
I was always wondering why recently you'd been coming home from work later and later. But now I finally know what that was all about. I can agree with things a little better.
When it comes to things like having fun with other women, all men are doing it.
You can't seriously believe that every man is doing something like having an affair just for fun. You just happen to be a pile of trash is all. Well, it's not like any of that means anything to me anymore now. You and I have already gotten our divorce now, so how about you go ahead and get married to her now?
Huh? There's no way in hell I'd get married to someone like her. Who the hell would want to get married to such a young and stupid child like her?
What the hell was that you just said? Sure, she may have just been for fun, but you were the one that chose to have sex with her, right? Which means you have no right saying those kinds of things about her.
The only thing she knows how to do is please a man, and that's it. She has some really nice breasts, and her face looks pretty good in dim light, but her head is so bad that she can't even speak correctly from time to time. It was just her looks that got a man of my position to move her up a little bit in the company, as long as she pleased me in some ways. Had she not had that body, I would have fired her for trying to lead me on in a heartbeat.
So, it's someone who works in the same company as you? Well, she's not the only one you've been making fun of. You seem to have enjoyed doing the same things to me, right? To you, her and I aren't that much different from one another, are we? If anything, to a man with the ideas of you would be much happier with someone like her who has a job than some idiot housewife like myself, right?
What are you talking about right now? Sure, you can't work a job or anything, but your family has a lot of money and you went to a really good university, right? Her family is all poor, and she never went to college or anything after high school. She's the kind of woman I could never show to my parents. And when it comes to women, they don't have to work in the first place. The job of a woman is to take care of the home and nothing else.
Then tell me, why the hell have you been picking on me all the time for never working or anything?
I just assumed that if I used that as a way of speaking down to you, you'd listen to me a lot more.
You think I want to listen to someone who repeatedly tells me that? All you were doing was breaking my heart over and over and over again. If you do end up getting married again to someone else, you'd better be careful about that. Don't hurt any other women like you'd gone and hurt me.
Wait! You really just had the wrong idea about all of that. Let's get back together now.
No, thank you. Not only did you treat me like crap when I was your wife, but the thought of how you were having an affair as well makes me want to vomit now. I have had enough of your kind for one life.
Nina, listen to this. I just had a talk with that woman I was with behind your back, and we've broken up now. She said a lot of crap about me, but I just ignored it all and threw her away. So could you please come back to my side now?
What makes you think I need to go back to being with you just because you broke up with that woman?
I'm no longer involved with her anymore and will never be seeing her again. And I promise that from here on out, I will never have another affair ever again. So could you please come back to my house now?
Not sure how many more times I'll have to say this to you, but I'm not going back to you. I'm going to change my life for the better.
But I've had a change of heart and everything, Nina. I want to apologize to you for all of those horrible things I'd said about you before. I am so sorry.
The fact that it took you this long to say sorry to me for some of those things means you'll definitely do it all again to me. I get what kind of man you are, because I've been watching you for years and years now.
I understand that what I did really made you lose all your faith in me, but can you please find some way to give me one more chance? I promise that I won't take advantage of you ever again.
You were taking advantage of me?
I just assumed that no matter how mean I was to you, you'd never stop loving me and would never leave. I'm sure that at one point you never wanted to leave me either, right? Well, I was wrong about all of that as you were slipping away from me right in front of my own eyes. I am so sorry for never noticing anything sooner.
Disgusting.
What?
No matter how many times you apologize to me, I will not forgive you for what you've done, and I will not marry you ever again. And now, after all the hell you had put me through during our marriage and for having cheated on me with that other woman, I'm going to get a settlement from you.
A settlement? You're joking about that, right?
From now on, I'm going to have to fend for myself, so I would like for there to be a little bit of money coming to me. With both the verbal and physical harassment, as well as you having that affair, I have two very good reasons for getting a large settlement out of you.
What are you talking about? So all of this was just for the money?
Excuse me?
So that's the way you're gonna wring me of my money and then throw me away? Even though I did so much for you over the years. Sure, I did some pretty bad things to you as well, but I was still taking care of you in my house, right?
Huh? Cut that crap out right now, acting like you're the victim of anything. Who the hell do you think you are saying all that crap after having caused me bodily harm? Everything you are doing to me is considered domestic violence. Now that you're aware of that, you're going to pay me as much as I ask, and then we can stop talking. I do not have it in me anymore to go on and on and on with you about how sorry you feel and want me to remarry you again.
What happened to you? All of those cold things you're saying to me now, that's not like you, Nina.
What the hell are you actually going on about? The only Nina you know is the one you forced to be your slave, and that's all right? Well, the Nina you're talking to right now is the real Nina. And right now, I want to cut ties to you as soon as freaking possible.
You were once a really kind woman, though, right? You had such an open heart, and you would forgive me for anything I'd done.
I had to forgive you because you scared the hell out of me. That was never the real me then. Because of you and your harassment, my life was turned upside down. And that's why now, I'm wanting to throw it all away and start fresh.
So you're gonna throw me away as well, even though I was doing it all for you.
If you're going to say that taking away my freedom and hurting me whenever I stepped out of line was for my sake, then you're mistaken. And that is why you're being abandoned now. The reason things have had to come to this, where I'm having to punish you now, is because of your actions. For having been together for so long now, and yet you still never noticed the hell I had to go through because of you. Tell me, who the hell is the real idiot out of the two of us? After that, I got plenty of messages from Luke saying that he really wanted to see me again and that he really wanted me to get back in touch with him, but I never once replied to him. I had my lawyer give him a call one day after all the texts from him became too much for me, and the lawyer told Luke that he'd have to talk to him now. I couldn't take any more of that idiot's crying and sobbing, and that's why I made things all the more tough on him. Talks with Luke about everything were anything but smooth for myself, and in the end we had to take the whole situation to court. But in the end, I was able to get close to $100,000 from him in the settlement, and the divorce was officially finalized, and we were no longer husband and wife. Seems that Luke wasn't able to accept any of what had happened there, and he ran all the way back to his parents crying for their help. But both of his parents happened to be well put together people and told him to shut up and let the divorce happen because there was nothing else he could do. Then, in an act of revenge for having thrown her away, Luke's girlfriend, or now ex-girlfriend, went to the company and told everyone the news about how he had had an affair with her. This led to Luke being placed under investigation by the company, where they had learned all of the secret raises and promotions he'd give his ex for doing nasty favors for him after work. Things are leading towards Luke being transferred out of the state and into a new office, and losing his job as a manager, as well as having his salary halved, which leaves me feeling so much better inside. On the other hand, when things come to myself, I have been starting my new life fresh, and have had more time to really enjoy myself. I feel so much better about the person I am and can actually love me again. I am so fortunate to have been given the chance to run away from such a pile of crap man as Luke and will be forever grateful for it.
Lily, are you there? Oh, please tell me you're there. I have to talk to you. Lily!
I'm here. What's going on? Are you okay?
I'm better than okay. He proposed.
Oh my God. Well, what did you say?
Are you kidding me? Of course I said yes.
Yes. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, Rose.
I'm getting married. I'm going to bring him home to Mom and Dad's house to make it official sometime in the near future, so I want you to be there too. His parents are going to be there too. I'd love for you to meet them.
Do I have to? I'm too nervous. I wouldn't want to do something weird and give them a bad impression of our family.
What are you so worried about? All you need to do is sit there and smile.
Wow. My big sister is really getting married. I'm really happy for you. But now, I'm gonna have to share you with some guy? This sucks.
Come on, Lily. We're not kids anymore. You have other friends besides me now. And don't worry, even after I get married, you're still going to be welcome to stop by our house and see me whenever you want. Did you think I was going to let a man come between me and my adorable little sister? Please.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to intrude on you guys. I wouldn't want your husband to think I was getting in the way or anything.
Oh, him? Nah, that's never going to happen. He's a really great guy, trust me. Once you meet him, you'll see that he would never think you were getting in the way.
Well, if you say so. So, tell me about the lucky guy. What's he like? What does he like to do for a living?
He's in research and development, just like me. We're in two different fields, though.
Ah, so he's a brainiac like you. You guys are quite the power couple.
Yeah, his entire family is full of brainiacs. His grandpa's a doctor, and his dad is a big shot businessman who runs his own company.
Wow. He must have some super powerful genes. Your children are going to have 4-digit IQs. Sometimes it's hard to believe the two of us are even in the same family, though. We're nothing alike at all.
What are you talking about? People talk all the time about how much we look alike.
Well, yeah, but that's just our faces, right? That's just about the only thing we have in common. Think about back when we were in school. You were always getting straight A's, but I was lucky to get C's on a good day.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. You just didn't like to study, that's all. Not liking to study isn't the same thing as being dumb. You're just as smart as I am. Honestly, there are times when I feel like you're actually smarter than me. Like, you are way better than me at thinking on your feet. I've always been jealous of your critical thinking skills.
Okay. That's enough flattery for one day.
It's not flattery, I'm being honest. And just so you know, that's how I've described you to my fiancé. I set an extremely high bar for you with him.
Oh, geez. Thanks a lot, Rose. Now I'm really nervous about meeting him.
Well, you'd better get over that soon because he's coming and he really wants to meet you.
Well, in any case, I'm glad to hear that your fiancé is a nice guy. You've always told me how you dreamed about marrying a smart, successful man who treats you like a princess. I guess this guy fits the bill?
To a T, Lily. He's everything I could have hoped for and more. Well, there is one thing about him that I'm not so thrilled about.
Uh-oh. What's his flaw? Drinking? Gambling? Money laundering?
No, you dork. No, it's nothing to do with him personally. It's his mother. She's very, it's kind of hard to explain.
What's she like?
She's kind of what you'd call a helicopter parent. Every time he's made a major decision in his life, she has made very clear what her expectations for him are.
Wow, she sounds like she's pretty strict.
She is crazy strict. Even things like making friends is a super serious issue for her. She straight up refused to allow some of his friends into their house when he was younger. And I know I'm not his first girlfriend, and I'm fine with that, but from what I understand, every breakup he's ever had was due in no small part to his mother. It sounds like she personally drove them all away because she didn't think they deserved to be his girlfriend.
Yikes. Have you been on the receiving end of that at all? Has she done or said anything to you?
No, not yet anyway. I guess I must meet her standards or whatever. She's never come up to me and demand that I break up with him at the very least. Although, I guess I could say that she can be a little harsh in the way she speaks to me, but nothing that gives me the impression she opposes us getting married.
Well, duh. How could she be opposed to her son marrying you? You're perfect. I know you better than anyone else in the world, So you can trust me when I say that. If she's not satisfied with you, then there's not a single woman in the world who would satisfy her.
I sure hope you're right. She's going to be my mother-in-law after all. I'd like to have a pleasant relationship with her.
Yeah, if she's as much of a helicopter parent as you say she is, then that might cause some issues later down the road. Do you think you can deal with having a mother-in-law like that?
Well, the topic hasn't come up yet, but if she wants us to move into their family's house, then that might be a problem.
If you ever need to escape from her, then you're always free to come and hide at my place. I won't let anyone hurt my favorite big sister.
I'm your only big sister, Lily. Good evening, Lily. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us earlier. It was a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, and I do apologize if I offended you by asking for your phone number.
Oh, that's quite all right. I don't mind at all. I was glad to meet you as well. Thanks for coming out all of this way. It must have been quite a long drive.
Nonsense, dear. It was nice to get out of town for a while. Now, if you don't mind terribly, could I ask you a few questions about your sister? I've heard a thing or two about her from my son, but it's only natural for him to present his fiancée in the best light possible. Additionally, there are some things that only someone's immediate family members could possibly know about them.
Oh, sure, I suppose. What was it that you wanted to know?
I greatly appreciate your cooperation. Now then, let's get down to business. I'd like to ask about your sister's school life. Tell me, what sort of a person was she back then?
She was basically the same sort of person she is right now. She was kind, flexible, and hardworking. Same as always.
Thank you. Now, tell me about her attitude towards her studies. Did she ever go through any mischievous or rebellious phases? For example, did she ever skip school?
Rose? Skip school? There's no way she would ever do something like that. She never even had the typical teenager attitude either. She was always respectful to our parents. She came home exactly when she said she would. She didn't cause any trouble at all. As for her studies, she always got the best grades in the class and was well liked by her classmates and teachers.
Yes, that's the same story that my son told me. But you'll have to understand that I have a hard time believing it. After all, there's no such thing as a perfect person. She must have some sort of flaw in her somewhere. You don't actually expect me to believe that she's some sort of a superwoman, do you? She really never got in any sort of trouble?
Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm not really getting the point of you asking me these questions. It almost sounds like you're searching for a flaw in my sister. Is that what this is about?
Oh, goodness gracious, my deepest apologies if that's how I came off. I was never intending to do such a thing. As I told you before, my son only told me positive things about her, and I found it hard to believe. It made me suspicious that he may be hiding something from me.
I don't think he's hiding anything. I'd go as far as to say that Rose doesn't have anything to hide at all. I've known her for my whole life, and we've always been very close. So I can say with confidence that I have never met anyone with as pure of a heart as Rose.
I see. Well then, if you say so, then it seems that perhaps my son wasn't falling into a trap after all. That's a relief.
Did you think that Rose was hiding her true nature from him or something?
As much as it pains me to say this, my son has absolutely atrocious taste in women. All the girls he's dated before have been utterly disgraceful, brainless, classless hussies, the lot of them. They were nowhere near good enough for a man like my son. Rose, however, is another story entirely. Everything about her is top-notch, from the way she sits at the dinner table to the way she dresses. I can tell that she's received a proper upbringing. Not only that, she attended a prestigious university and went on to work at a prestigious research institute.
Well, I'm glad you recognize what a catch Rose is.
I do feel like she is a bit older than what I would like, but that's a minor detail. I can overlook her age. She's not beyond childbearing age at any rate. And I must say it is impressive the degree of loyalty you have to your sister. You haven't withheld a single shred of praise for her in this entire conversation.
Yeah, I'm proud to call her my sister. I'm sure that you'll be proud to call her your daughter-in-law.
I just may. Thank you for answering my questions, Lily. You've been most helpful.
You're very welcome.
Lily, where are you? Tell me right now.
The bathroom? Did you need something?
That's precisely why I'm telling you to leave immediately.
What? But why? The reception is still going on.
I'm telling you to leave immediately. I will not allow you to participate in this wedding any longer.
I'm not sure you're in any position to allow anything regarding this wedding. But can I ask why you're trying to kick me out?
You dropped out of high school, didn't you? I just heard that from one of your relatives.
Well, yeah, I did. And? Your point?
My point? My point is that your very presence in this wedding and in your family brings shame upon me and my son.
It does. I don't really see how.
How could you be so oblivious? The presence of a high school dropout among his in-laws is a stain upon my son's honor. I will not settle for anything less than perfection. Oh, what was I thinking? How could I have been so careless? I was so focused on his wife that I failed to consider the flaws of her sister.
Hold on. How is the academic history of his sister-in-law a stain on your son's honor? I mean, really? That's what you're concerned about?
It may not have a direct connection to him, but nevertheless, a stain is a stain. You should be grateful that I'm allowing this farce of a wedding to continue at all. But that is entirely contingent upon your willingness to follow my orders. Leave immediately.
Let's have a talk about my history, shall we? You're right. I dropped out of high school. I hated school, everything about it. I stopped going on the very day I turned 16. But I worked harder than everyone around me in order to get where I am now. I'm not ashamed of that decision in the slightest.
I don't doubt that. A low-class cretin like yourself must have no sense of shame whatsoever. You people have no choice but to shut off that part of your brains, because if you allowed yourself to feel shame, you wouldn't be able to go on living. Instead, you force all those around you to feel shame on your behalf.
That's completely unfair. I work incredibly hard to earn a respectable income for myself.
What do you know about a respectable income? How much could a high school dropout possibly earn? What is it that you do, anyway? You must be some sort of a janitor or cashier, right?
With that attitude, I doubt you'd believe me even if I told you.
I knew it. You're unemployed, aren't you? I won't have a high school dropout interacting with my son. You'll have a negative influence on him.
Fine. I don't see any point in continuing this conversation with you. I'm leaving. However, in exchange, you are going to have to explain to my sister that you kicked me out and why. I imagine she'll get concerned if she realizes I'm gone.
Your terms are acceptable. I needed to have a talk with her as well. She hid the fact that her sister was a high school dropout, and she'll need to answer to me for that. Rose, I know you're in the changing room right now, but we need to talk. Huh? What is it, Mom? I found out a short while ago that you've been keeping a serious matter a secret from me. I have? Don't play dumb with me, girl. You never told me that your sister was a high school dropout. Is that a problem? Of course it's a problem, but not half as much of a problem as the fact that you hid it from me. I'm sorry, I really don't see what the big deal is. I wasn't hiding it, I just didn't think it was worth bringing up. High school dropouts are ignorant, uneducated stains upon society, and the fact that one of those exists within your family is unacceptable. I will not allow my dear son to associate with such lowlifes, and as such, I drove her out of the banquet hall just a few moments ago. No way. Are you serious? That was a very bad idea, Mom. What? How so? All I did was take out the trash. That trash is my sister. And it just so happens that Lily is in a position to take out the real trash. Real trash here, meaning you. Excuse me? My sister is a high-ranking executive for a rather large company, and that company is the single largest client of your husband's company. That girl is an executive? You're lying. I don't believe you. A high school dropout couldn't possibly become any sort of executive, much less a high-ranking one. It's simple. She gets results. In the business world, credentials don't matter. Results do. Sure, she dropped out of high school, but she's been working her way up the corporate ladder one rung at a time ever since. She's currently in a position where she could single-handedly terminate her company's business relationship with your husband's. Out of all the guests here at the wedding today, she was the person who you should have been doing the most brown-nosing for. And yet you were oblivious to that truth and kicked her out of the building. This feels like the plot line for a sitcom. You're lying. No one would believe such a ridiculous story. You can believe me or not, it doesn't change the fact that you have just royally screwed up. If I were you, I would get right to work on apologizing to Lily, or else start preparing for bankruptcy. Oh, I know. Would you like to see Lily's business card? If that won't convince you, nothing will. I'll have one of the venue staff bring it over to you. Good evening, Lily. I would like to apologize for my atrocious behavior earlier. I had no idea that you were such an accomplished individual.
Rose told you about me, huh?
That's right. She showed me your business card. If you don't mind, could you please tell me where you are right now? I'd like to come over and apologize in person.
I'm sitting in the cafe across the street. I was just about to call my assistant. I've been thinking that it was time we considered our business relationship with your husband's company. After all, there are plenty of other companies we can go to. We don't particularly need your company for anything.
Please wait. If you stop dealing with our company, it would be a devastating financial blow. We would never be able to recover. I beg you, Lily, won't you please reconsider?
Did you talk to your husband?
Yes, I did.
Did you tell him exactly what sort of awful, inconsiderate insults you threw in my direction?
I showed him our entire text conversation.
And how did he feel about that?
He was furious. I've never seen him get that angry before. He told me that I could very well have just bankrupted our company and put our family in the poorhouse.
You really screwed up big time, huh? That's a funny thing about people. You never know who you might have to rely on in the future. The person you mock and belittle today might be the person pulling you out of a burning building tomorrow. It's unwise to be rude to people, whoever they are.
You're absolutely correct, Lily, and I see that now. The way I treated you was absolutely unacceptable.
To tell you the truth, I really don't feel much like having to see your face right now. So I'm hesitant on coming back to the wedding.
Isn't there any way you'd come back?
Are you trying to avoid the consequences of kicking out your husband's most important client?
My husband told me to leave the wedding if you so desired. So if you're telling me that you don't want to see me, then I'll never show my face around you again. So please, Lily, have mercy on me. Please don't end your dealings with my husband's company.
No, actually. I'd like you to stay for the rest of the reception. I'll even come back inside.
Really? Oh, thank you so much.
On one condition. You are going to have to give me a profuse, sincere apology right there in the middle of the room. Even if everybody stops what they're doing and stares at you, you are to continue your apology to the very end. Also, your husband didn't have anything to do with your rudeness to me, so he doesn't need to apologize to me at all. Just you. Well, are those terms acceptable?
In the middle of the room? Oh, does it have to be there? Oh, can't we do it in the lobby or a side room?
No. You are going to apologize to me for everything you did in front of everyone. Something to the tune of, please forgive me for mocking you for being a high school dropout and kicking you out of the building. Feel free to elaborate as much as you like, though.
Isn't there any other way you'll forgive me? If I do that, it would be so embarrassing for my son.
Oh, you don't have to worry about him. He was the one who made that suggestion.
What?
I just got off the phone with him a few minutes ago. He apologized on your behalf and proposed forcing you to make a public apology. He said that you needed to be taught a lesson you won't soon forget.
Why would he do that to me?
I hear that you've been exceedingly intrusive into his romantic life. How many of his girlfriends have you driven away because you thought they weren't good enough for him? He didn't tell me, and I didn't ask, but it was apparently enough for him to hold a grudge against you. He knows that having his mother prostrate herself before a woman half her age in the middle of his wedding is going to be embarrassing. He's prepared to deal with that, though. That's how much he wants to punish you. I may not have known you as long as he has, but even I can tell that is the most effective form of punishment for you. Public humiliation.
My son has a grudge against me? That's impossible.
It's not only possible, it's the only logical outcome of your level of interference into your son's life. If I were you, I would take the L and do what he says before things get any worse for you.
Oh, this can't be. Everything I've ever done has been to protect my family. As the matriarch, it's my duty to prevent damage to the family's reputation.
You were looking for faults in your son's friends and romantic partners, when all this time you should have been looking in the mirror. The only one damaging your family's reputation is you. As soon as I walked back into the reception hall, the self-described matriarch of the family immediately started into her well-scripted apology. Her face was beet red, and her husband was doing his best not to look at her. I put on the performance of a lifetime, too, when I oh so graciously accepted her apology. The room went silent for a moment, and then everyone gradually went back to business as usual. However, by the time Rose was doing the bouquet toss on her way out the door, her mother-in-law was nowhere to be found. A few days later, her husband came over to my company in order to apologize to me. Imagine my shock when he broke the news to me that he had decided to divorce her. It wasn't as much of a shock to the rest of the family, though. Apparently, this wasn't the first time she had embarrassed them in such a public fashion. I suppose that's why the wedding got back on track so quickly after her apology. They were used to this sort of thing. Their patience had reached its limits, though, and they weren't going to put up with their nonsense any longer. I told both Rose's husband and father-in-law the same thing when they delivered their own apologies to me for the wedding. I didn't blame them for anything. Everything she did was 100% on her and nobody else. With that problematic woman out of the picture, both of our families are getting along swimmingly. I asked Rose's husband what happened with his mother after the divorce, and he told me he doesn't know and doesn't care. All he cares about is that the stain on his family's reputation has been removed. I guess it just goes to show you, it's true what they say. If you're having trouble finding the black sheep of the family, it's probably you.
Hey Natalie, did your boss tell you to come in tomorrow at the last minute again? My mom texted me and said you had to ask her to pick up Amy for you.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. I feel bad for dropping this on Mom at the last minute. Did she seem upset?
Nah, you know my mom. She's always thrilled to have Amy spend the afternoon with her. Being a grandma is the best thing that's ever happened to her. I am concerned about you though. You've been working an awful lot lately. Are you sure it isn't too much?
I'm really sorry, Jonah. You know how things are these days. It's impossible to get people to work. We're really short-handed, and my boss knows he can count on me, so...
When you originally signed up for this part-time job, you said it was just going to be 2 days a week. We've gone in 4 days this week and last week.
I know. But we're looking to hire another person, and as soon as we get a decent applicant, my schedule will be a lot lighter again.
Be that as it may, I'm still concerned about you.
Really? What for?
I know you better than anyone, Natalie. You have a really hard time telling people no. I'm concerned that your boss is taking advantage of you. That's all.
No, my boss is a great guy. He'd never take advantage of me. We're short-handed and busy. It's that simple. And for the record, I have turned him down a few times.
Oh, really? Alright then, if you say so. But you do have a point. Everyone is short-handed these days.
Right? Everyone on the street has a help wanted sign in the window. But there are benefits to that. They're so desperate to have people that they're super lenient about taking time off. They tell me that if something ever happens where I need to take care of Amy or something, that I can cancel my shift whenever I want. It's a great place to work.
I'm really glad to hear that. But still, don't overdo it, okay? Remember, we could live on my income alone with no issues. If it were up to me, I'd rather you spend as much time with Amy as possible.
Me too. But like I said, the second we find another person, I'll be a lot less busy. I've been thinking about taking your mom out to dinner for taking care of Amy so often lately.
I don't think you need to do that. Just having Amy over is enough of a present for her.
Still, I really do want to do something to say thanks.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing to do. Your idea of taking her out to dinner sounds good. We can all go together.
That would be awesome. There's a new Korean barbecue restaurant in town that I've been dying to go to. It's a little pricey, but it looks delicious.
Works for me. I love meat. Gotta go. My boss is calling me.
Okay, see you later. I'll do my best to make sure I get home before Amy gets out of daycare.
Thanks for all you do, Natalie.
I'm just doing what any mother would do for her husband and child. Thanks for all of your hard work too, Jonah. Hey, Jonah, do you have a minute? I wanted to ask you something.
Sure, babe. What's up?
I was thinking about going to stay at my mom's house next weekend.
Okay, that sounds fine to me. We haven't been over to see her for a while. I'm sure she'd love to see Amy.
No. I don't mean all of us. I'd like to go by myself, actually.
You want to go alone? Why's that? Something wrong?
You remember I told you one of my relatives passed away recently, right? They were single and didn't have any kids. So my mom and her siblings were asked to help take care of his things. You know, straighten up his house, find all the things that have value, throw the rest away, that sort of thing.
Oof. That sounds like a pain and a half. How about I come along to help out?
But who's gonna look after Amy?
Ah, right. Meh, she could come along with us. Probably gonna be some heavy lifting to do. Wouldn't it be better to have a man around to help?
My uncles are coming, so we'll be fine. Plus, I don't want Amy to have to spend the entire weekend playing by herself while we clean up an old, dirty house. The only other option would be to leave her with your mom or my mom, but my mom's gonna be busy with cleaning, and I'd feel terrible leaving Amy with your mother for an entire weekend.
Yeah, I guess you're right. An afternoon is one thing, but it'll be a lot of work to watch over Amy for 2 whole days. Okay, I'll stay here with Amy then.
Thank you so much, Jonah.
Did you clear that with your boss? Thought I remembered you saying that he might be asking to come in on weekends for the next month or so.
I talked to him and he said that I don't need to worry about coming in anymore.
Oh, okay. Did he finally hire another person then?
Yep. He said that after next weekend, my schedule is going to go back to normal. No more last-minute shifts for me.
That's great. Amy's gonna be thrilled to hear that.
Really? Why is that?
Well, I haven't told you this before, but she's been acting really sad lately when she goes to my mom's house. Mom told me that the other day, Amy told her, Mommy's leaving me all alone.
Wow. I have no idea why she'd say something so dramatic. I mean, she's only going over to your mom's house a couple of times a week, right? And only for a few hours at a time.
Well, apparently that's enough to make her feel sad. I remember back when she was 3, she used to start crying her eyes out whenever you left the room. I guess she has a stronger attachment to you than you know.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But she's not 3 anymore. She's already 5 years old. Plus, she's going to daycare 5 days a week. I think it's about time she grew up a little bit and started getting more independent, don't you?
You might say she's already 5 years old, but looking at it another way, you could also say she's only 5 years old. I would say she's at just about an appropriate level of independent for her age. Honestly, I'd be worried if she was any more independent than she already is. The last thing I need is for her to all of a sudden run off while we're at the store or something. That might give me a heart attack.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's something to that.
I really think you've been working too much, Natalie. If you don't mind me saying, you've been a bit harsh on Amy these days. You're pretty quick to get on her case about things that I don't see as all that big of a deal.
You think so? I'm sorry, Jonah. I've been so busy at work, and I don't know what it is, but it feels like Amy won't listen to a word I say anymore. I guess maybe I've been kind of short-tempered. I'll be more careful from now on.
Please don't feel like I'm criticizing you, Natalie. You're a great mom. I know you love Amy a lot. I'm partially at fault too. I've been too busy with my own job to help out much around the house lately. You know what? I'd say a nice relaxing weekend at your mom's house might just be what the doctor ordered. Why not make it a long weekend for yourself? You can stay a few extra days. Take some time off to forget all about all your responsibilities at home and relax.
Are you sure that's okay, Jonah?
Sure, I'm sure. You're gonna be cleaning up at your relative's house on Saturday and Sunday, right? You can leave everything here to me. Take some time for yourself for a change.
Wow, I really appreciate this. You have no idea how much it means to me. You already do so much for me.
Nah, I can always do a little more. You're my wife after all. And even after next weekend, if there's ever a time when you're overwhelmed and want to rest, you let me know, okay?
Thanks, Jonah. I might just take you up on that.
Good afternoon, Jonah.
Hey there, Mom. It's nice to hear from you. How have you been?
I've been doing just fine, dear. Thank you for asking. Now, if you don't mind, I had a request to make of you. Did you kids have any plans to go anywhere next weekend?
Ah, are you asking about the cleanup thing you guys are doing?
The cleanup thing. What are you referring to?
Natalie told me all about it. She said a relative of yours had passed away recently, and you and your siblings were going to go and clean up their house next weekend.
I'm sorry, dear, but I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wait, really? That's weird. Natalie told me she was planning on heading over to your place next weekend to help you out with that.
Next weekend?
That's right.
Odd indeed. When I talked to my daughter about her plans for next weekend, she had told me that she hadn't made any plans yet.
Really?
Yes, Jonah. That's why I was planning on going to visit you myself, if you would allow me to intrude. I was hoping to make it a surprise for Natalie and Amy. I'd love to see the look on Amy's face when she walks in the door, and her grandmother was standing there to meet her.
Oh man, I'm sure Amy would have loved that.
But this is an interesting situation now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can say that again.
Tell me, Jonah, have you noticed anything out of the ordinary in Natalie's behavior recently?
Well, I have noticed that she seems kind of on edge around the house.
Is there anything else?
I'm trying to think. I guess the only other thing might be that she's taken a lot more shifts at her part-time job lately.
Jonah, dear, as much as I hate to say this about my own daughter, you might want to look into what she's been up to.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think you should consider hiring a private detective.
Hold on. So you're saying I should have her followed? Like, to see if she's having an affair? I can't believe that Natalie would ever do that to me.
I don't want to believe that my daughter would be a cheater either. And that's why I think it would be best to look into her. It's the only way to be sure one way or the other.
I don't suppose asking her directly is an option.
Jonah, my boy, you've been married this long and you still don't understand women? There's not a chance she would admit to it.
It's just, I can't imagine Natalie cheating on me. I don't even want to consider that possibility.
I know, but look at the facts. We know for sure that Natalie is lying about her plans for next weekend. She's not coming to my house. Where do you suppose she's going?
Right.
And if you look into her and find she's not being unfaithful, then that would reassure you, wouldn't it?
I guess so.
I'll tell you what, you can leave it to me. I'll make all the necessary arrangements. You can just continue to act normally around her for now.
Alright, but before you do that, can I check with Natalie one more time about her plans for next weekend?
Of course, go right ahead. I know you might be in for some hard times ahead, but you'll have to be strong. For your sake and Amy's. Understand?
Hey, Natalie, I want to ask you about next weekend. You're still planning on staying at your mom's house, right?
Yep. We're still planning that big cleanup.
And you're going to take a few extra days to relax if I recall correctly. So you'll be at your mom's house for 5 days, is that right?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Is something wrong?
Nah, nothing's wrong. I was just trying to remember how long you'd be gone.
Is 5 days too much? Should I cut it down to 3 or 4?
I was just thinking, if the cleanup thing went quicker than you expected, why not go on a little trip? You've been working so hard lately. You really deserve a break.
What, you mean by myself?
You don't have to go alone. You can go with a friend or something. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. It's been a while since you've seen your friends, hasn't it? Wouldn't you like to have some time with your friends?
What's brought this on all of a sudden?
I felt like maybe you've been taking out too much between Amy, the housework, and your part-time job.
I'm fine, really. Just the 5 days with my mom will be more than enough of a break for me, honest.
Really? Okay, that's what you say. But remember, whenever you want to take a trip or take a day off or anything, you can feel free to let me know and we'll work it out somehow.
Jonah, you're already doing more than enough around the house. You don't need to worry about me so much. In fact, I should be the one telling you to take some time off.
Thanks, babe. And Natalie?
Yeah?
I love you.
How are things over there, Jonah?
Same old, same old. Nothing to report. How about you? You're coming back the day after tomorrow, right? Is the cleanup finished, or...?
Yeah, about that.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound very good.
I'm sorry, Jonah, but I'm gonna have to stay over here for a while longer. The cleanup is all finished. That's not an issue anymore. It's my mom. Right when we were finishing up, she had a nasty fall and hurt her leg pretty bad. I'd like to be with her while she recovers to help take care of her.
Oh no. Is your mom okay?
She cut herself on an old piece of metal, and it looks like she might have an infection. She's had a bit of a fever ever since. I just want to stay here for the next few days to see how she does. Probably 3 days max.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm really sorry, Jonah. Are you alright looking after Amy for a few more days? I'll be sure I'll be home sometime later this week when my mom gets better.
I don't know. She seems pretty fine to me right now. Though she might want to be careful. If she starts laughing any harder, she might give herself a heart attack.
What?
You really are something else, Natalie. I was an idiot for ever believing you.
Jonah, what are you talking about? My mom's laughing.
Hello, Natalie. You were saying I hurt my leg? That's odd. It doesn't hurt at all right now.
Mom? Is that you?
It is indeed. I've been staying here this entire weekend.
No. This is some kind of prank, right?
If this were a prank, it's an awfully dull one, wouldn't you say?
But you said you were going to be home all weekend. I know that's you, Jonah. You're just pretending to be my mom.
I was hoping to surprise you and Amy, so Jonah was the only person who I told I was coming.
So, Jonah knew all along? He knew that I wasn't at your house?
He's known for some time now. You've done such an awful, stupid thing, Natalie. Jonah had faith in you up to the very end, you know. He thought for sure there must be some other explanation, like that you were secretly going on a trip with your friends.
But that is what I'm doing. I decided to go to a beach house with my friends for a few days.
Silence. We know exactly what you're doing, Natalie. I hired a private detective to track your movements.
You didn't.
I did. It's not like you'd spill the beans if I asked you directly. I knew I would need hard evidence in the event my suspicions proved correct. So there's no point in hiding anything anymore. We know where you are, we know who you're with, and we know what you're doing.
I'm sorry.
Poor Jonah isn't in any condition to have a conversation with you right now. We'll contact you again tomorrow. Until then, I suggest you do some soul searching. Think long and hard about what you've done.
Jonah, please, I'm begging you. Can't we talk about this? One more time.
We have nothing more to talk about. We already decided on divorce yesterday. My parents and your mom are all on the same page about this.
But what about what I want? I don't want to get divorced.
Well then, that's just too bad now, isn't it? The fact that you were with your boyfriend last weekend wasn't the only thing the private detective told us about. You were lying about all those extra shifts at your part-time job too. You left Amy with my mom so you could go and see your boyfriend. But that's not even the worst thing. No, what takes the cake by far is that there were even times when you left Amy all by herself to go see your boyfriend.
You don't have any proof of that. You only assumed that when Amy told you that I was leaving her all alone. She's only 5. You can't read that much into things she says.
And when I had a talk with your boyfriend today?
You did. And what did he say?
He said that the two of you were working together to destroy evidence. Things like deleting texts from your phone to keeping anyone else from reading them.
That isn't true. He might have done that on his own, but I never told him to do that.
Is that so? Then would you mind explaining to me why your entire text history of him was deleted from your phone? Doesn't matter though. We had him restore the texts.
You can do that?
We saw that there were multiple occasions on days when Amy didn't have school, or you couldn't leave her with my mom that you left her home alone to see him. They're all time-stamped, so we know exactly when you guys met up.
This cannot be happening. You must have threatened him into doing that. There's no other way.
Did you really expect loyalty from a man who was willing to have an affair with you? It didn't take much convincing to get him to cooperate with us.
So he really showed you our text?
Yep, so we know all about your relationship. Seems like the first time you met up on a dating app to have a little fling. But you gradually started getting serious.
That's not true. I was just having fun, playing a game. You know, like acting in a movie.
Okay, you've lost me there. You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
I never wanted to leave you or Amy. One of my friends showed me the dating app she used, and I got curious.
And then you went from curious to serious?
I never got serious. I'm trying to tell you. I just wanted to have a break from reality. I needed a little excitement in my life. You and Amy were always the most important to me.
You left Amy, a 5-year-old girl, home alone so you could get a little excitement? You disgust me, Natalie.
It was only a few hours, though. I thought she'd be fine. I mean, she's already 5 years old.
No! She is only 5 years old, you psychopath. She's nowhere near old enough to be completely unsupervised for that long. She's big enough to open the door. What if she went outside? There's also a million and one ways she could have hurt herself right at home.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'll never leave Amy alone again. I'll never betray you again.
Either of those things alone are enough for me to consider divorcing you. If you had only cheated on me, then it would have been harder to decide to divorce you. I could have overlooked it, pretended it never happened. But the fact that you left Amy alone in order to betray me? No, there's no coming back after that.
Please, forgive me, Jonah. I'm begging you. Amy is still just a little girl. She'll forget about being left alone soon enough. So that means the only issue is us making amends. We can work it out, can't we?
You think child neglect is okay because she's young enough to not remember it in the future? Good God, Natalie. I'm grateful for everything you've done for Amy and me until now. There's no possible way that I will ever be able to live with you again after this.
No, I don't want to divorce you. If we break up, you're gonna get sole custody of Amy for sure. She's my daughter, though. I can't let you take her away from me. She needs her mother.
She needed you on all those days when you abandoned her in the house by herself. Where were you then? In the arms of another man. And when Amy's loneliness and sadness over being left alone boiled over and caused her to act up, what did you do? You took it all out on her. As if she was the problem. Do you realize how sickening that is? You were yelling at your daughter for the neglect she suffered at your hands.
I am so sorry, Jonah. I'm begging you. Please give me one more chance. I swear to you I will change. I'll be a brand new woman. I know you probably won't believe me when I tell you this, but I was planning on ending my relationship with him after our time together last weekend. It was gonna be like one last hurrah.
You're right about one thing. I don't believe you when you say that. I'll never be able to trust you again for the rest of my life. And if you can't understand that you are the reason for that, there's no hope for you as a person. You betrayed my trust, abandoned your daughter, and caused immense pain to all the people who loved you the most. You are the one who was responsible for this divorce, and no one else. Thanks to the diligent work of my mother-in-law, Natalie quickly consented to the divorce on my terms. Obviously, I was awarded sole custody of Amy. Natalie maintained until the very end that she was never serious about her boyfriend. She certainly did show moments of extreme disregard for Amy's safety in order to go and have her excitement. But I do believe her when she says that she never wanted to divorce me and leave Amy behind forever. She's now on the hook for monthly child support payments to me. In order to make those payments to support herself, she's currently working as a live-in custodial staff at a hotel on the other side of the state. Part of the reason she left town is, no doubt, the mere fact that she got absolutely nothing in the divorce, leaving her unable to afford a place of her own over here. But I'm sure that a much bigger reason is just the simple fact that too many people around here know about her now. Several of our mutual friends asked me about the divorce, and I wasn't going to lie to them. I was upfront in saying that we divorced because of her infidelity. Word got around fast, so now practically everyone she has ever known in the city knows about everything she did. As for me, now that I have been thrust unceremoniously into the role of a single father raising a daughter, I moved back in with my parents. My parents are being incredibly gracious and doing everything they can to support me through this difficult time. Natalie's mother is also a total saint. She regularly sends Amy gifts and comes by to see her. Despite her daughter's foolish actions, Amy is still her granddaughter after all. But even with all their support, trying to balance work and taking care of a child is absolutely exhausting work. I won't let that stop me, however. For mom out of the picture, now it's up to me to give my daughter 2 parents worth of love and affection. As God is my witness, I will never allow Amy to feel the kind of loneliness and helplessness she must have been going through on the days Natalie left her alone. Oh my God, Mary! What the hell do you call this lunch you made for me? I've had bowel movements that look more appealing than this slop. Is this really the best you can do? I had to go and eat my lunch in the broom closet today. I don't think I could handle the humiliation of any of my coworkers seeing what a lousy cook my wife is.
Roger, come on. I'm not that bad of a cook. Don't talk like that to me. And do I need to remind you that I made exactly what you wanted me to make for you? How many of your coworkers' wives are willing to get up early enough to make fried chicken for their husbands before they go to work?
I asked you for fried chicken. I didn't ask you to bathe it in 40 gallons of cooking grease. I'm not in my 20s anymore, Mary. If I eat stuff that's this greasy, I'm gonna have heart disease before I'm 40. I need healthier food. And besides, you left all the bones in. I don't want to have to take the bones out while I'm at work. I'll get grease all over my keyboard.
You want healthier food. I tried to give you a salad the other day, but then you shouted at me that you hate salad. I made exactly what you wanted me to make you, but you're still complaining? I can't keep up with this, Roger. Could you write me out a list or something? If I had a list of things you want in your lunches, then we could avoid having the same argument every day.
I shouldn't have to write a list for you. You should be able to tell that my tastes have changed and update what you make in my lunches accordingly. And it's not that I hate salads. It's that you put way too much lettuce. Lettuce is the most boring vegetable in the world, but that salad was like 99% lettuce.
I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'll take that into consideration. Is there anything else you want me to do differently with your lunches?
Yeah, actually. You're packing way too many carbs into my lunches.
Really?
Yes, really. Going back to your awful fried chicken. My God in heaven, the damn thing has more breading than chicken. Do you want me to get diabetes, Mary? Is that what you want?
No, Roger, I do not want you to get diabetes. I think that goes without saying, though.
Well, you could have fooled me with the way you pack my lunches. If you keep feeding me like this, You're gonna end up being a widow before you start collecting social security checks. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were trying to get me sick on purpose to cash out on my life insurance policy.
Well, thank goodness you do know better, because I would never do something like that. For a long time, you were telling me that you were getting hungry by the end of the day, so I've been making them on the heavy side. But now I guess you're more concerned about your health, so I guess that will need to change too. You don't have to give me a list, but could I at least have some ideas?
More veggies, less meat. But go easy on the lettuce, got it? And give me some fruit too. Apple slices, grapes, you know, that sort of thing. Also, no more fried stuff. It's clear now that you suck at making fried food, so cook it another way. And when you give me bread, don't give me any of that processed white bread. I want whole wheat.
I'm having trouble deciding whether those instructions are excessively restrictive or exceedingly vague. But okay, I'll try to do better tomorrow.
You better give me something more presentable tomorrow. Not asking for much, just have to be good tasting food that won't kill me. Why don't you take a cooking class or something? I'd be willing to shell out the money for it if it means you don't have to make any more disgusting slop like the crap you tried to shove down my throat today.
That does sound like it would be a lot of fun, but with my work schedule, I don't think I'd have time to go to cooking classes.
Don't give me that. You're not that busy. You can make time. I'm sick of seeing all the stuff that my coworkers' wives make for them. It's like they're eating at a 5-star restaurant. I'm eating week-old gas station sushi. And if that's what their wives are making them for lunch, just imagine what sort of dinners they're eating every night.
How nice for them. But let me ask you, do those wives have jobs of their own, or are they housewives?
I don't know. Pretty sure they don't have jobs, but so what?
Okay then. Well, I don't think it's very fair to compare my cooking to theirs. I'm not trying to say that housewives have it easier or anything, but cooking is kind of their thing, right? Like at the very least, they have a lot more time to focus on cooking than I do. Remember, I make your lunch and mine before I go to work, and I also make dinner after I get home. Cooking in the morning is the worst. I'm already busy enough just getting ready for work without having to put 2 lunches together.
Now you're just making excuses. There are women all over the world making decent meals for their husbands and working. If you can't do both, then that's your problem and you need to fix it.
Really, Roger? Do you have any idea how hard I work to make lunches for you every day? But all you ever do is complain, complain, complain. A simple thank you from time to time would be nice.
Get over yourself. You want me to thank you? Tell me, Mary, do I thank the mailman for delivering my mail? Do I thank the garbage man for taking away the garbage? Do I thank the girl at the city hall for taking my property tax checks? No! Why would I need to thank you? You're just doing your job. You're my wife. Now stop acting like a spoiled brat and start cooking better. End of discussion.
Hey, Roger. Just letting you know that I wasn't feeling well and left work early. I'm not really up to cooking anything tonight, so I think I'll just order some delivery or something.
Did you catch a cold? Don't give it to me.
I'll be careful. I don't know if it's a cold or not. I just feel really, really weak. That and my stomach is killing me.
You have a stomach ache? That doesn't sound like a cold to me.
I don't know what it is. All I know is that I feel absolutely terrible all over. I would go to my doctor, but his office isn't taking any more appointments for today. I'll have to go early tomorrow instead.
Are you gonna take time off tomorrow too?
I've got a big meeting in the late morning tomorrow, so if I take any time off, it'll be in the afternoon. I'll go to the doctor first thing in the morning, so I probably won't have time to make breakfast either.
Wait, what about my lunch?
Sorry, but I really don't think I'll have time to make anything for either you or myself.
Then what am I supposed to eat at work tomorrow?
I don't know. Isn't there a convenience store close to your office? You can either buy something there or make something for yourself in the morning. Whatever you want, it's up to you.
Wow, so you're throwing it all on me, huh?
I'm not really in a state of mind where I can think about tomorrow's meals, Roger. You'll just have to take care of yourself.
For the record, that convenience store you claimed is close to my office happens to be a freaking 10-minute walk away. You want me to walk that far during my lunch break? And besides, they don't serve anything good there. Just a bunch of pre-made sandwiches and stuff.
Just figure something out, Roger. It's one day.
I'm not wasting 20 minutes of my lunch break to eat mediocre sandwiches. Not like your food is that great, but it's better than crappy convenience store sandwiches.
I don't know what you want me to tell you, Roger.
I'm not gonna be able to make you a lunch tomorrow. That's all there is to it.
Don't talk like this is so simple when you know it's not. How am I supposed to explain the sudden change to my coworkers, huh? What are they gonna think when I have to go buy my own lunch instead of taking out the one you made for me? They're gonna think we're having a fight or something. I'll become the laughingstock of the office.
Why are you assuming they'll make the worst possible inference? You can just tell them the truth, that I'm sick. Whatever you do is up to you, Roger, but I cannot make you a lunch tomorrow.
God damn, you're useless.
I just told you I'm feeling sick, and you said you didn't want me to give it to you, right? Why do you want me to make a lunch for you when I'm sick?
It's your fault for not taking better care of your health.
Make it yourself then. I make your lunch every freaking day, exactly how you like it, but all you ever do is complain. If you hate my cooking so much, fine, don't eat it. Make your own lunch. I have more than enough on my plate between my job and doing the rest of the housework.
Oh my God, there you go again. You have to be the victim, don't you? Wah. I'm so tired from vacuuming and laundry. You don't have to do anything. Machines do it all for you. Now shut up and do your job.
You think doing all the housework is easy just because we have appliances? If you'd ever washed a single dish in your life, you'd know how tiring it can be.
My mom worked and cleaned the house and made lunch for 5 people every single day. My mom can do it. There's nothing keeping you from doing it too. Perhaps you'd like me to tell my mom what a lousy housekeeper you are. I'll bet she'd be so disappointed in you. She'll be all like, "Oh, Roger, you poor boy. You don't deserve to be stuck with such a lazy woman."
Fine. If that's what you really want, then I'll get your lunch ready for you tomorrow.
Damn straight you will. Don't half-ass it just because you weren't feeling well. No frozen foods and no leftovers.
You are the pickiest man I've ever met.
For the love of God, Mary, what the hell is this food?
It's exactly what you asked for. I'm not expecting a thank you, but you could at least eat it without complaining.
This has got to be the worst lunch you've ever made me. I specifically told you, no frozen foods and no leftovers. This is worse than pig slop. I didn't even eat one bite. I just threw it in the trash where it belongs.
Really?
Yeah. That's where the garbage goes, right? I'm not gonna ruin my day by getting the taste of this trash in my mouth.
You didn't even eat a single bite, though?
I needed to eat it to know how awful it was.
Uh-huh. Well, Roger, I hate to break it to you, but I didn't make that.
Huh? Then who did?
Your mom.
What? My mom? Are you serious?
You were so insistent that I make a lunch for you yesterday, but I just couldn't do it by myself, so I asked your mom. But I don't think she agreed to do that willingly. She was like, "Is that boy ever going to grow up?"
I thought you made that lunch for me, Mary. My bad. You're not gonna tell my mom that I threw away her food, are you?
Too late. I already did. I didn't leave out a single detail either. I wonder how she's going to feel when she sees your text message saying her cooking was trash.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. You literally just sent that message a few minutes ago, Roger. I took a screenshot and sent it over to your mom, so she knows everything.
Man, this is not good. I thought that lunch you made me looked a lot different than the way you usually pack it. Plus, you put in a bunch of things I told you not to. Thought you did that on purpose to tick me off. You know, to get back at me for the fight we had last night. I only threw it away to show you who's boss. I didn't really mean all that stuff about it looking terrible.
Yet again, Roger, you are a master of missing the point entirely. The issue isn't whether you thought that food looked good or not. The problem was you disregarding the effort that was put into your lunch and throwing it away. I can't imagine how pissed your mom's gonna be when she sees your text. I hope you're ready for the tongue lashing of a lifetime.
Hey, Mary? What's going on? I just got home, but the house is completely dark. Are you still at work?
No, I've been done for a while now. Your mom invited me over to her house for dinner, so that's where I am right now.
Mom invited you? Like, just you? Not me?
That's right. She told me to come alone. I finally got to feeling better, so she prepared an incredible dinner to celebrate. Good grief, Roger, your mom's cooking is amazing. I'm so used to how my own cooking tastes that I've forgotten just how good food can get.
It's also a lot easier to enjoy a nice meal without an ungrateful whiner like you complaining about everything. The meat's so cold, the soup's so spicy. Wah, I don't like vegetables. Wah. God, you can be obnoxious.
Hey, what are you and my mom talking about? You're not talking about me, are you?
Oh, trust me, you were the main topic for the first few hours. Your mom tells me that I don't ever have to make any meals for you ever again.
Oh no. She must really be mad about me throwing away the food she made for me. I told her I made a mistake though. I thought that was your cooking.
You still don't get it, do you? Your mom isn't mad at you because you threw away her food. She would have gotten mad at you even if it was my cooking. No, she's angry because you were being disrespectful jerk to your wife. And I don't expect you to understand this, but in doing so, you were also disrespecting your mother.
What? That doesn't make any sense at all. How was I being disrespectful to my mom? I have nothing but respect for her. She always made me the best lunches ever.
As much as it pains me to disillusion you about your mom, the truth is that she was using a bunch of store-bought and frozen food the whole time.
No way! You're lying!
Ask yourself. She's the one who told me. We actually had a wonderful time bonding over how you are demanded that we make your lunches for you before we go to work ourselves. The only thing you could say was handmade was the apple slices that she cut. Does it hurt to know that your mother had been making half-assed trash lunches all these years?
I had no idea. I always thought she made all that stuff herself.
Your mother and I are both on the exact same page about you. You have no idea how hard it is to keep things running smoothly around the house. And while doing all of that while working and making your lunches for you, while also constantly complaining about every single one, screw that. I'm not doing it anymore. You can make your own lunches from now on.
What? You expect me to pack my own lunch? I can't do that.
Well, you're going to have to learn how really quick if you don't want to go hungry at work. Your mother has issued an official cooking ban on me, so I won't be able to make any meals for you for the foreseeable future. That doesn't just mean your lunches, but breakfast and dinner too. You're on your own.
An official cooking ban? The hell is that? And you're not even gonna cook me breakfast or dinner?
That's right. Your mom told me that I work too hard, so she won't allow me to cook anymore. She gave me strict orders to come directly to her whenever I wanted to eat. Also, since it would be a real chore to have to go back and forth between our house and hers for every meal, she wants me to move in for a while too.
You've got to be kidding me. Who's gonna do all the housework around here while you're gone?
Do I have to spell it out for you? You are Roger.
This is total BS. I won't let you do this to me. My mom's gonna wait on you hand and foot, but I'm gonna be stuck over here doing all the work? That's not fair.
It's not like I want to have to do this. I mean, I don't even think you know how to use the microwave. I'm terrified of what's going to happen to you while I'm not around to babysit. But my hands are tied. It was a direct order from your mom, and there's no way I'm going to ignore it. You know better than anyone else how scary your mom can get when you don't listen to what she says.
Man, this is such a pain. Whatever. I'll just have to stop by the house and apologize to my mom for throwing away her lunch.
Sorry, Roger, it's not going to be that easy. She also told me to tell you that she doesn't want you coming to her house, so don't even bother showing up at the front door. She won't let you in.
What do I have to do here, huh? Tell me how I'm gonna get out of the doghouse with her. Ask her what she wants me to do, okay?
For the time being, you're going to have to get by on your own. You can make your own meals this week. Look at it this way. Now you have a 100% chance of getting exactly the sort of lunch that you wanted. Anyway, your mom's order was that she's not letting me go home to you until you learn to appreciate how hard being a homemaker is. I'd love to get home to you as soon as possible. So won't you please hurry up and learn your lesson, sweetheart?
That's it. I can't take it. I can't do this anymore. Tell my mom that she won. I now understand exactly how much it sucks to be a homemaker.
Well, well, well. If it isn't my long-lost husband, Roger. How have you been, darling? Are you making your lunches every day like your mom told you? It is nice to be able to make whatever you want whenever you want.
I'm so sorry, Mary.
For what? Be specific.
I had no idea how much hard work cooking was. Between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I don't even have any time left over to do the other housework. I'm an awful cook. I got so sick of eating my own cooking that I started eating ramen noodles for all my meals. But after a few days of that, I started feeling like there was a massive boulder in the pit of my stomach. It's hard to sleep, hard to walk, hard to drive. Everything hurts.
Wow, I have to say I'm impressed. I figured you'd be ordering fast food all the time by now.
I did that for a few days, but I stopped right away. It's too expensive, and it left me feeling even worse than the ramen did. And I guess I kind of realized that fast food doesn't even taste all that good in the first place.
My goodness, Roger, you're even learning lessons I didn't tell you to learn.
I was always complaining about your cooking, but your food is way better than the garbage you sell at the convenience store. I'm sorry for complaining like that. I was an idiot. I don't know why, but I just felt compelled to complain about your food for some weird reason. I realize now that I really enjoyed your cooking all along.
Then what were you complaining for? If you thought it was good, why didn't you just say so? That would have prevented this entire situation from happening.
That's just the thing. I don't even know. I was basically like one of those Karens you see in those viral videos. You know, the ones always wanting to speak to the manager over every little thing.
I have never been so impressed with you in my life, Roger. Yeah, that's exactly how I always felt about you. You seemed like you were on some kind of power trip and wanted to make sure I knew that you were the man of the house, or whatever.
Mary, I cannot tell you enough how sorry I am. Please forgive me. And please, won't you come home again?
Yeah, about that. Your mom told me to consider divorcing you.
What? Divorce?
So I did what she said and considered it. And the more I thought about it, the more it seemed like a really, really good idea.
But I learned my lesson. I thought you said you would come home once I learned to appreciate how hard you worked to keep the house in order. And you just said you were impressed with me, right?
Yeah, I am impressed with you. Like a student going from getting 10% on a test to getting 40% is impressive, right? They're still failing, though.
I'm going to be a straight A student from now on, Mary. I promise you. I will never complain about you ever again. I'll tell you thank you every time you make my lunch for me. I'll even make a lunch for you sometimes.
You think I want to eat anything you cooked? Yeah, I'll pass on that.
I'm begging you, Mary. Please don't leave me.
How about you take those cooking classes you recommended for me?
Those won't do any good. I'm completely unsalvageable.
Oh, come on, Roger. There are husbands all over the world who can cook just fine. And I might just have to go and find one for myself. Roger put up quite a struggle, but I never backed down. So a short while later, I was able to divorce him. It's so wonderful to be free from having to babysit a grown man. I still make my own lunches to go to work since it's cheaper than eating out, but I still do treat myself to a nice meal every once in a while. I'm also glad to say that I've maintained a good relationship with my mother-in-law, even after the divorce. From what she tells me, Roger's life has completely fallen apart ever since I left him. In her words, midlife crisis doesn't even begin to describe what's happening to him. He's eating worse than he ever has before, even back when he was in college living off day-old cold pizza and energy bars. He went to the doctor for a checkup recently, and he came back with a laundry list of health problems he's developed due to his diet. The sadness from losing me, the only person who was standing between him and collapse, has also been difficult for him. He comes by his mom's place after work relatively often, just to have someone to vent his frustrations to. That's not to say she just lets him go on and on about how terrible I was to leave him, though. Rather, she's always sure to remind him that he's the one who drove me away by being a whiny, incompetent man-child. And that's a little bit too harsh, even for me. Something tells me Roger won't be coming to his mother for comfort anymore before too long.